Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back with another match of the Hong Kong Sevens. Now, we just witnessed one of the greatest upsets of this competition so far. Uruguay beating Great Britain, which now means that South Africa, all they need to do in this game to go through to the quarterfinals is to not lose by about 55 points or somewhere around that margin. So that is definitely doable for the Blitzboks, seeing as, they're one of the best sides on the Seventh Circuit at the moment. In the starting lineup, Ryan Oosthuizen, Impey Visa, JC Pretorius, Sawyers Wapi, Selvin Davids, Ronald Brown, and Shelton Van Veek will be closing out that starting lineup. Then for the French, it will be Mignot, also Simon, Paul, Perez, Edo Martin, or Stephen Perez, as I've called him in the past, Pesquet, also Grandidier, and Dumont as the last man there. Good morning, Seski, and welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Currently 10:04 p.m. here in New Zealand. We have still got another 13 hours of live streaming that we are going to have on the channel. So be sure, if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this live stream. But both sides making their way out onto the field. Like I mentioned, with Great Britain losing their game, really opened up the door for South Africa to get themselves through to the next stage of the competition. Had Great Britain won that game up against the Uruguayans, could have been a whole different story, as Great Britain would have found themselves sitting up on, I believe, 6 points. In fact, they would have been even higher. They would have been on 7 points after that one. And also 9 a.m. here in England, says Gannon. Morning, Keaton. Says Nate there, and Jacob had said, hi, welcome in. Hope you are doing well. I hope my voice can last throughout the rest of the live streams we've got today, or else I'm going to be whispering by the last match. But Ruben King going to be in charge of this one. The Australian referee today will be my 98th Island game I've been to, says James. Geez, that's quite the record. So you're almost bringing up your 100th. In fact, how many games have Ireland got left of their home matches? You'll get the 100th before the end of this November international window, won't you? Almost, I would think. I think Ireland have still got themselves. They've got Fiji in this game. No, sorry, they've got South Africa in this game. Then they also are going to be playing up against, what they got next week? I've already forgotten, but it's going to be the kickoff now, taken nicely by JC Pretorius in the starting lineup for this match, and will certainly want to have an impact here heading into their quarterfinal fixture. The referee almost considered blowing the whistle, decided against it in the end. So Shelton Van Veek, inside of his 22, fires it back to Selvin Davids. I should mention this is the first of 3 games that we are going to be covering on the channel. Australia, says James Cody. So yeah, that should be a pretty entertaining one. Wayne Barnes will officiate his 100th international test this weekend too, if you didn't know, says Kian. So a whole heap of big monumental occasions coming up. I know that for the All Blacks, the biggest one they've got is Ofa Tuangafasi. He's bringing up against his 50th cap, but I don't think that's quite the same extent as Wayne Barnes having the 100. He will match Nigel Owens. Says Kian there. The penalty goes the way of South Africa inside of the first minute currently, and JC Pretorius had a decent start to this game. I believe it's the first time he's been in the starting lineup for South Africa. Of course, South Africa, we need to mention it. They lost to Great Britain in their last game. It was certainly a monumental upset that they didn't really want to have take place. But now, because of the way that Great Britain lost, it means that it's opened up the door for another opportunity for one of these sides. So currently in the quarterfinals, haven't really got too many sides confirmed, but pretty much these 2 sides are. They don't quite have their opponents confirmed as of yet, though. Ryan Oosthuizen takes it at the line out. Selvin Davids now off to the side, gives it to Shelton Van Veek. Got plenty of pace, and he has put it in behind for Saviwe Sawyers Wapi to try and chase on to. It's gone into touch. Grandidier doing a decent chasing job as well. And Conor Murray is 1 game away from a century, says James Cody. So he will get to bring that up possibly next week as well. So I should mention in quarterfinal 1, actually there's one side confirmed. That is Argentina at this point by the looks of it. In terms of the table, which will mean that Ireland are also confirmed for the quarterfinals, and they will be top of Pool D, the way they have been playing. But as soon as they do announce all of the quarterfinals, we will let you know exactly who is going to be playing who. Stephen Perez, ball in the outside, a little bit loose. Mignol leaves it for Paul. He's taking it on the outside. He is number 92 for this matchup. So they have got custom numbers now on the back of jerseys. It's certainly going to make it confusing for some people. But Sevens has kind of been the trailblazer, I guess you could say, in that regard. Now down the wing, Grandidier. Great tackle made by Shelton Van Veek. Gets straight over the ball, wrestles it straight back, and now Saviwe Sawyers Wapi has it for the Blitzboks. 4.5 minutes left in this contest. We've hardly seen the French with the ball. Ryan Oosthuizen trying to go through, but Stephen Perez makes a nice tackle on him. Ronald Brown plays halfback. He did score himself a try in the last match. Also blew one. Or actually, it was the match before. And Selvin Davids, great step from The Blitzboks number 8 still going to be available. 14 meters out from the line now. Round the side, Ronald Brown, too much speed, or does he? He's having to run it sideways. He's broken the tackle, and Ronald Brown gets himself another. Done very nicely there. Ronald Brown scores the try for South Africa. And now with 4 minutes gone, 4 minutes left in the first half, that will be a second try in Hong Kong. I'm just looking through at the other groups. So Fiji is confirmed as top of Pool C. USA have also gone through. Spain missing out. Same with Japan. In this group, more than likely France and South Africa. And then in the top group, more than likely Samoa and Australia at this stage. Unless New Zealand are able to beat Australia by... In fact, because Australia has lost one game and so has New Zealand, whoever wins this game between New Zealand and Australia will actually go through. So there's so much more on the line now, no matter how bad New Zealand are. How good Wales is, New Zealand will batter Wales. It's tradition, says James Cody there. That kick has gone over from South Africa as well. So now 7-0 in favour of the Blitzboks. We have got Crazy NZ in the chat as well. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well and hope you're excited for a long night of rugby and rugby league that is coming up on the channel. Someone is dressed as one of the 101 Dalmatians. By the looks of it. They had about 3 of them with them. Nicely taken deep. Nyo has done well to take that one down to the ground. But yeah, France are really going nuts in terms of those custom numbers. 96 for Simon. That's going to be stolen by Impi Visa. And that will be another try now for South Africa. Easy try for the Blitzboks. And James Wales have not been too good, though, as of late. A loss at home to Italy. But to counter that, they beat South Africa away, says Kian there. Yeah, number 19, Pasquale. Number 55, Damon. Number 92, Paul. Number 96, Simon. So they are really just enjoying the fact that you're allowed custom numbers. The South Africans, I don't believe they've got really any changes other than Christy Horobala and also Darren Adonis. They are the two that have changed up their number just a little bit. And I'll miss all the rugby tomorrow, says Crazy NZ. That is a big shame. Hopefully, whatever is happening with you, you are all right. You are keeping happy and healthy. It's going to be kicked for the conversion attempt. It hasn't gone over, and now the score will be 12-0 in favour of South Africa. I don't believe France are out of this contest yet, though. We haven't really seen them with the ball in hand, and I think that will be a big difference maker again. I know New Zealand always better Wales, says James. Good morning, amateur. Feel a Springbok win here. How are you doing there, Kiwi lads? Rocking the rugby like crazy, says Roof. We certainly are. We've got plenty more. Ustays and a little bit of a mistake there, actually kicking it back himself. Now rolling it backwards. It's the knock-on. So France are currently $6.20 underdogs in this fixture, I do see. But I don't think they've got a terrible chance in this contest at this point in time. We'll see what Wales side shows up. Then again, we shall see what New Zealand side shows up in Cardiff. Another good point, Principality Stadium. It's a tough one to win at away. And, yeah, I don't know. The New Zealanders, they've gone with a bit of a mixed match side, I guess you could say. With a couple of big changes, South Africa looking better than their last game, says Jan Lubrand. They certainly are. They are at least scoring some decent points on the board in the early stages of this one. The short ball from France, though. Now trying to drive forward, run Oosterhuizen joining the breakdown. Now nice salad dummy. Here come France. Ball on the outside. Grandidier. He sees the line and he is going to score the try for France. And you're right about those sneaky French, says Roof. And they have just got themselves their first try of the contest, now dropping back down to only $3.12 underdogs. So that is a big change. In fact, no, down to $2.84 underdogs. $2.86. It's dropping like flies at the moment on the TAP. That nice ball on the outside. I believe it was Paul. Then found the offload to Grandidier. He was going to be hard to stop from there. And yeah, currently they are still slashing the odds for the French. Now they are down to $2.41. Either everyone has just put their money on France or something's about to happen in this game. That is a incredible kick. An incredible kick, I should say. Looking forward to today. Amazon Prime, €5.59 for all the games bargain, says James Cody. It sounds that way. It seems like they've really got it set up well in the Northern Hemisphere. And who's that fastest one yet? Says Roof there. Yeah, Grandidier did beautifully. France not able to claim that kickoff, though. Now Ronald Brown, ball on the outside. Van Vick now across. It's going to be a Ryan Oosterhuizen trying to break through. It seems like France have really lured in a lot of their defenders into that breakdown, which could mean that flinging the ball wide from South Africa could be very effective. Ronald Brown off now to JC Pretorius. He's normally a super sub for them. Big bump off as well. JC Pretorius driving the legs. Finds the offload up to Selvin Davids. It's going to be another try for South Africa. Right at the end of the first half. De Mon not able to stop him. Selvin Davids once again shows the class that he has got. And France are back up to $6.60 underdogs now. And James, I'll get it all for free with your 3-month trial, says Kian. And they're strategic. I do enjoy a good bit of strategy. In fact, they're down to $7.10 underdogs. Now, I'm going to stop looking at those odds because it seems like France, they're getting called as maybe out of this match now, but anything could happen in the second half. But they're going to have to work extremely hard and get the ball a little bit more than they have had it in this first 7 minutes. Going to be halftime now in this contest, currently sitting 17 points to 7. Let's go the Blitzboks, says Nate. And if it's going to be behind a paywall, then I have all the game and it's pretty cheap. And already used it, says James there. Missing away to the side. So only 10 points difference between these two sides. So that makes me think that all France need is a good start to the second half, and maybe they are still in it and working so sneaky. I listen to your commentary in between ping pong, South Africa thundering over, says Ruth in there as well. Pasquale, we didn't see too much of him in the first half. I think Dorian off the bench, number 40. Haven't seen too much of him in the past. He might have a key role to play at Legal. Very experienced. They haven't actually got a Revol, which I was a little bit surprised about. And James, I love that prime. As the Autumn Nations rights, rather pay £8 rather than like 25 plus. And there says Ken. So yeah, as long as you know where you're trying to get the bargain, I guess is the best way of describing it, then it is very useful for you. It's like having the Stan Sport trial in Australia. I used it, but then I was a little bit silly, I guess you could say, and I ended up doing the Stan Sport subscribing as well. So I canceled the sport, but I've now paid for about 5 months of Stan in Australia, which is like not very useful. I haven't used it, so I'll probably need to use it soon or remember to cancel. It's the other thing. You get any money off YouTube, bro? Says Loki. I do get some ad revenue. As you guys know, any money that we make off the channel goes straight back into the channel. So whether that's a microphone, a green screen, lighting, or just paying for sports subscriptions, they aren't very cheap when you do sign up for multiple of them to be able to cover all the games. So that's pretty much, where all the money goes from the YouTube channel. But I have been working a part-time job alongside the YouTube channel so that I can continue to fund the YouTube channel to be able to keep it running type thing. And are you doing Wales versus AB's game tomorrow? I certainly am. Although for the first half, it is going to be my parents who will be doing the commentary for that match while I am doing Papua New Guinea versus England. And Kian have Sky Sports and BT already. Absolute sham, says James Cody. It always annoys me when you've got to have multiple subscription services just to watch the same sport, just different competitions. And I feel like that is why Spark Sport in New Zealand and Sky Sport is slightly annoying that you do have to get both. And then you also have to sign up for Stan Sport in Australia to get through or get a few of the other ones as well. It is going to be tapped back. New Zealand hanging on, or not New Zealand, sorry, France back up to his feet. Simon, he's definitely got the body of a sprinter, passes it on the outside. Randidier going to be charging down the wing. Sawyer's Wapi inside ball back to Simon, who has had his ankle taken out from underneath him. I believe he's about 6'4". That man, he is certainly built to last in the sevens competition. Another offload. Finds it in the hands of Pasquale. Ball on the outside. Here comes Paul down the wing. And he's got himself the try there for the French. Running it in. And that will be the first try of the match for France in the second half, I should say. And I pay for BT Sports and Premier Sports. I use my mate Sky Sports, says Gian, and I'll surely do the Sonny Bill Williams versus the Hunt. Says Loki. I've missed pretty much all of the prelims. I believe that fight's taking place at about 11 p.m., isn't it? Which is actually the same time as we are covering New Zealand versus Australia. So we will be missing that one, sadly, but we will be keeping a close eye on it. It's going to be a pretty awesome game. A pretty awesome fight by the sounds of it. Buzzing for Arsenal versus Chelsea tomorrow, though, and Tottenham versus Liverpool tomorrow. Says James, what a weekend of sport. Yeah, there's plenty on, that is for sure. Now, the kick is successful from the French. So that will make the score 17 points to 14. They've got themselves right back into this contest now, France. They are sitting in second on the pool with the points differential by the looks of it. And also after Blackfern says Bush Big. And don't worry, Uso will win tonight boxing match. Yeah, only if Sky could have got the Rugby League World Cup Sparks coverage is trash, says Loki. Yeah, I remember doing the first commentary, Samoa versus England, and the game literally crashed for 5 minutes. I don't think it was just a Spark Sport thing. I think it was everywhere in the world. But yeah, not really what you want in the early stages of a World Cup is to have the first match actually crash. Now kicked off short. France retain the ball, and they are certainly looking dangerous in the second half. Will Fiji beat Scotland, says Kian. There's a high chance that we could see the the Fijians find some flair, but I think Scotland structure-wise should be able to take down Fiji slowly, but it will be an interesting one. The Black Ferns versus France was the best rugby game of the year. It was certainly a close one. We did cover it on the channel with my mum, which was pretty awesome that we did get to spend that time together alongside the Chad. Now Grandidier looking for the offload, almost there for France, still available. They are down by 3 points, but they're starting to find a little bit more of their structure. Simon now with the nice ball on the outside. France attacking it well. Mignot inside ball. It's been put down, though. Now South Africa, the counter-attack. Great work on the ground. I believe that would have been Domon was able to make that tackle. Soyuz Wapi with the step here, still available for South Africa, and also the crowd of the Rugby League World Cup is bad. Do you think? Yeah, unfortunately, not quite as many people in attendance as we would have liked to see for those games. JC Pretorius, that's the penalty going in favour of the South Africans, though. It did look like for a second France thought they were going to be the team to take the tap. And 9 hours of international rugby tonight, says Nate. Yeah, it's going to be a hectic evening. That is for sure. My voice isn't going to exist tomorrow, but that's okay. Or it's not really okay because we've still got the sevens that we are covering tomorrow. The Rugby League World Cup, I find that it doesn't have the same excitement as the Rugby World Cup. Not as competitive, says Ken. And yeah, that is a good point. Sadly, we have seen a lot of one-sided games throughout that Rugby League World Cup. Even the quarterfinal between Lebanon and Australia was a bit more one-sided than a lot of people would have liked. Now, France with 4.5 minutes left. They have to try and defend here. Not going to be easy to do up against a Blitzboks side that have been throwing absolutely everything at them. And I believe they will continue to do so in the next 4 minutes 30. I'm flying to Scotland next week and I'm watching the All Blacks versus Scotland live. That's going to be an awesome matchup. See at the stadium. Murrayfield is going to be rocking for that contest. Thrown in JC Pretorius. In fact, it's Ryan Oosterhuizen. Now Branko de Pree gives it off to Selvin David. Shelton. Then Vic almost going through. Dupré goes back across to the side. The one-on-one tackles need to be made here. Christy Robillard has lost his footing. Jumping on the ball for France. That's going to be a French penalty. Great work from the French. Perez takes it quickly, and it looks like they are going to have themselves another attack and play. Down the short side. Drawing past France in space. It's going to be a foot race. Branco Dupré, though. Great work cutting him off. Ball on the inside. Gives it off to Steven Perez. Goes for the cross kick. Picked out his man perfectly, although the ball was running away from him. Grandidier with a great step as well. This is one of the longest plays of the game. It's gone backwards for France, so it's going to be play on. Now, the penalty goes the way of France due to Soyuz Wapi losing his footing. And France look to slow this one down. Listening to the R that you are rolling the Afrikaans is getting good, mate, says Bushpig there. And also, do you watch the Rugby League final a few months ago? We did. We did end up covering that one on the channel, the NRL final, I assume you are talking of. Or are you talking the Super League one in England? And that news reporter that runs beside any player that is running away from a try and interviews him at this game? Not too sure. It's a good question. I don't really know how to answer it. Just one victory the past 24 series matches against South Africa, and now they've got themselves another attacking opportunity. Down the wing, it's going to be a nice offload on the inside. Mignot does find the offload to Perez. They are still keeping this one alive at the moment for the French. Looking for a gap, but it isn't opening up just as of yet. Perez, though, almost breaking through. Looks for the offload. Does almost find it. Wasn't a knock-on. No, they've said that they've just been able to regather it here for France. Perez, now with 3 minutes left on the clock. Fires it wide. Lagel, now out on the park. Another nice pass off to Dorian. Trying to find the gap. He's offloaded it to absolutely no one. And Ryan Oosterhuizen has been able to jump on it. Branko Dupré now goes back to Selvin Davids. He's gone with the chip and chase. There is no one back there. Selvin Davids just needs the ball to bounce up nicely. It ignores him. That is the definition of being denied by gravity. Now Lagel up the middle of the field. Running hard, trying to link up with his teammates. Finds the offload up. Another one on the outside. Grandidier looking for the corner. Branko Dupré is not going to catch him. And Grandidier scores for France. And yes, the England one, says James Cody. And what was your first New Zealand game, says James. And there as well, the first New Zealand game that I went to, or the first New Zealand game that I commentated, that I went to. I don't think I've ever been to an All Blacks test match, believe it or not. I have been to a Black Caps test match, the cricket side of things. And damn, says Nate. And also Samoa for the final in the sevens. I think so. I think they're looking very good at the moment, the Samoans. Their next game is going to be up against Hong Kong. I think they're going to be able to win it big. And I don't know, maybe could win it by around that 40 points, depending on how they go. As long as they keep their structure, though, they will be all right, I would think. But Grandidier down the wing, scores the try. France in the lead now up against the Blitzboks, and an important kick has missed. Although saying that, either way, there was still going to be the opportunity for a win if there was another try. France are now sitting at the top of the pool if this is the way that the match continues, and that could be a massive one depending on who they go through. Plastic just joking in there, says James. That one's gone high. Lagao looking to retain. Had a little bit of contact on Stelvin Davids there. Slapped back by France, and it is going to be the penalty now in favour of South Africa, still with 1 minute 12 left on the clock here. Right, France are now favourites, $1.85 for anyone wondering about the odds. Stelvin Davids going to be kicking this one for touch, looking for distance. Is it going to find it? No, it hasn't. It's bounced back into the field of play. So Stelvin Davids, the ball really does not like him today. It seems like it's bouncing every way that it should have. Makata tries to make the tackle there. South Africa now having to try and get this ball back. It's going to bounce up. Christy Robala takes it now only 5 or 10 metres out from the line. France trying to defend here, but they might not be able to. It's a mistake, a critical mistake. Now Makata goes on the short side, bumping off Lagao, sits him down, finds the offload up. And now Lagao just jumping over the middle of the breakdown. That's almost going to be a penalty in favour of the Blitzboks. Makata offload to Sivu Soyas Wapi. Off to Johan Robala, who now breaks the line. Christy Robala, in fact it is. Getting close. Going to be dragged down by his shirt. Great defence from France. Counter-attack as well. And it is going to be on the side of the French with 10 seconds left. South Africa are asking to be able to go for it. They're not going to be able to. 4 seconds left on the clock. One more pass back. One last phase for the French, and they should be able to win this contest. Lagao joins the breakdown. Now all they need to do is kick it into touch. They do just that, and France are the victors in this contest. What a performance from France. But it does not mean that South Africa miss out on the quarterfinals. They will still be going through. And that was huge with South Africa. Well, South Africa going downhill, says Lockie. And also, we've got how much sleep are you getting today? Not a huge amount. I believe I've got about 3 hours that I get after another 12 and a half hours. I'll get to sleep for 3 hours, then I'm back up ready to do the sevens again. And also, we're really keen. I was getting that feeling, and probably an all-nighter, James says, Nate, it sure is. But that is going to be the end of this contest. 19 points for France, 17 for South Africa. They get themselves another victory here, and they'll be very happy with that result for the French in this game. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The next live stream that we have got is going to be Samoa versus Hong Kong. That is in 8 minutes' time. So be sure to check that one out as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.